Hello, this is Harsha. Today I have with me a versatile woman who has created multiple careers from home. She started her career as a journalist. Today she is a writer, entrepreneurship coach, artist, and a YouTuber. On top of this, she's a military wife and a homeschooling mother to a 7-year-old boy. Hello, Chandana.
Hi Harsha, thank you for having me here.
Nice to have you with us. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Our talk today is about homeschooling, which Chandana has been doing for quite a while now and has some valuable information for parents. So stay with us. Chandana, before we discuss homeschooling, tell us a little about your books.
Okay, so I have written two books. The first book which wrote and released was last year. It's called The Work at Home Military Wife. And that was specifically written for Indian Armed Forces wives who wanted to create portable careers that they could work at from home and online. Because I realized that there was no resource like this in India. And a lot of ladies feel that, they cannot pursue their careers or they cannot, use their talents once they marry a man in uniform. My second book, which I released in July this year, is called Queen of the At Home Lifestyle. And it's for any ladies, especially moms, who want to homeschool, who want to also create a work at home career, and they want to use homemaking to actually super boost all these other realms of lives. And this book has actually helped a lot of people, and they write into me and say that, how it has helped them during the lockdown. But my aim is that even when the lockdown gets over, this book helps people create more fulfilling lives within their home. So these are my two books.
Great. So, how do you manage to juggle so many roles with such gusto?
Okay, so before I had my child, I used to follow a very strict schedule. Like I would write down from this time to this time I need to do this. But after my son was born, my son really was that kind of a baby who would always be sticking to me. So a schedule went out of the window, and what I have started doing is chunking my time into like just rhythms. So in the morning, I would get up probably and do something for myself, and then get to work. After that, we after breakfast we sit down for our homeschool. If my son finishes early, then I get a little time to read or to work. Again, post lunch is my time to work or do some social media marketing. Evening is for family. So everything is kind of chunked into a very flow oriented schedule rather than a very watertight schedule. Also, my husband helps me a lot. So like even when I'm doing my YouTube channel, the technical editing and things like that, so he helps me quite a bit, which is a huge blessing, and it helps me juggle all these multiple roles.
Right. Before we go further, tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay, so we are a very small family. We're a family of three. It's me, my husband. My husband is a fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force, and we have a small son. My son is called Neil, and he's 7 years old.
Okay. Chandana, you are a military spouse, which means you have to often do sole parenting. Also, you have
Yes.
a home-based career. So, why did you decide to homeschool?
So when I was always drawn to homeschooling, and even before I had my son, in fact, even before I even thought of having a child, I was drawn to homeschooling, the whole concept of it. But after my son was born, like I said, my son was a very that kind of baby who would trail me all the time. So I sent him to school. I thought that would be the only way to get some time for myself, and he just didn't like it. So somehow he kind of stretched a year, but in school they would have a lot of writing activities, workbook oriented, worksheet oriented, and he would hate it to the extent that at night he would cry at night in his sleep, and say that I don't want to go to school, don't send me to school. So we still tried because we thought that's the way to do, for somebody who's for a child like him, probably schooling would be good because he was very active. So we thought, playing with other kids, playing in school would be good. But then we just started seeing that it was increasingly difficult. Sending him to school, he would howl while going to school, and people would say, it's okay, it's just a phase. But he never really came out of the phase. In our next posting in Delhi, we sent him to a Montessori school where he really enjoyed for the first 6 months. But after that, my husband would go on tours of duty, and we went with him. That's when I started teaching him in our hotel room, in our mess rooms. And he started enjoying it so much more that he said that now that I know what studying at home is, I don't want to go back to school. And he was actually the one who made the final decision that I'd rather stay at home. I do not enjoy. And we saw that yes, there is no point pushing him out into the school, because that phase of him not enjoying school was not really ending. It was a never ending phase, and that was more draining than actually formulating a lesson plan and teaching him at home. So
How,
that's how we started homeschooling.
so how old was he then?
We started homeschooling about 2.5 years back.
Okay.
So yeah.
So was your husband on board with your idea of
Yes, totally. Like I said, we both were drawn to homeschooling even before son was born. And when we saw that he didn't enjoy in school and he was not even learning anything in school, that's when both of us decided. In fact, the three of us decided that homeschooling is what it's going to be.
combined
So,
decision? Great.
yeah.
Okay, let's move on to some of the important aspects of homeschooling. So, which curriculum do you follow?
I don't really follow a curriculum now. When I started, my son was in UKG.
Mhm.
So he was 4 years old, and that was the time we started thinking of looking at curriculums.
Okay.
And even when he last year, I bought books from the CBSE board,
Mhm.
because those are the schools which are there at every military base. So I bought those books and I kind of followed it, but I realized that midway we both lose interest, because I don't find curriculums very interesting. So that is why now, though I have books from some of the schools around the base,
Mhm.
I am not really strictly following any curriculum. We just go by with the flow as per what he is interested in and just cover a few basics. So that's how we form our own curriculum, you can say.
So, has your homeschooling approach changed since you began?
Oh yes. So when we began, I would get online and keep researching curriculums. But over the couple of years, I have learned to relax actually. So instead of always wondering, should I go for this curriculum? Should I go get those books? Now I have come to a place where I feel everything will work as long as you go with your instinct and you focus on the fun. And so that is how my whole approach has changed over the years. From I think everybody who starts homeschooling feels very stressed, because you're on your own. In India, it's still not as acceptable as probably in a few other countries, and people always question you. They always ask you, is your child really going to learn? Will he really get socialized? So you're always rethinking. Even if you feel sure one moment, the next moment you get a question, you start rethinking your decision. So but then, as you go on in your homeschooling journey, you realize, when you see the results, when you see that your child is learning, your child is social, your child is developing so many hobbies and talents, you realize that whatever you're doing, it is okay and things will be fine. So
Chandra, tell me, if a child shows no motivation in learning from his own parents, so what do you suggest?
um, then I would suggest that let the child lead the way. Follow your child's interests. I don't think there is any child who would not be interested in anything. So let's say, even if your child is interested in just robots or just trucks, let him explore it from any angle, and just facilitate that learning by getting him books, by showing him programs, by taking him to maybe a factory or where these things are made. So just explore the child's interests, and the child will learn enough, in fact more than enough.
Right. It's a test of patience initially, but with time it gets better.
Yes. Yes.
So there are many parents who really want to homeschool, but feel they aren't smart enough, patient enough to do it. So what would you tell them?
I would say, like running a marathon, homeschooling is quite like running a marathon. You have to develop the stamina and patience.
Mhm.
Yes, I am not the most patient person. I have learned patience. In fact, my son has taught me patience ever since he was born. So it is. I would never think, if somebody had told me 7 years back that I would be homeschooling him, I would not believe it. So it is, some people may be born with the patience, some parents may be trained teachers, or some may know how to teach, they may have some sort of experience, but not everybody has that. And if you treat it like a marathon, they initially it seems very difficult, especially if you don't have the patience, or you doubt yourself too much. But slowly and steadily build up that stamina for homeschooling, and I think everybody then can hack it.
Right. And do you find enough socializing opportunities for your son, or sometimes you have to consciously create one?
Since we are in the armed forces, we don't really have to create any social situations for him. The lifestyle here is extremely social. We have people from across India and different age groups. There are kids around, families around. It's a very family oriented culture. So within this lifestyle, he gets plenty of opportunities to interact with people of all, not only different parts of the country and age groups, but also social strata. So I think that kind of works for him well.
Not a problem, because this is something most parents ask. How do you make them socialize?
I have another tip. See, a lot of people now, let's say parents who are not in the armed forces lifestyle, there is still enough opportunity to socialize your children. Because let's say simple things, when you're going out to run your errands, you're going to buy groceries, you're going to the mall, to the movie hall, take your child along. I mean, after the lockdown, but take your child along, let them interact, let them buy the things. Even in daily life, don't just think that socializing happens within children of the same age group. I feel if you just let your kids interact with anybody and people of different age groups, that is real socializing. So there are plenty of opportunities if you look for it.
Right. Are there things which you see in kids of your son's age dealing with that your son might not have to deal with in homeschooling?
I'm not really sure about that because, like I said, he's just 7 years old. So, like I see the other kids. I'm sure when kids go to school, they face other things. Like people tell me, in school, kids face bullying. So your child is being sheltered from that. So how will he cope in life? But I'm not sure whether if he is misses out on the school experiences. That's fine because he's getting other experiences in life that school kids are not getting. So I think it's a balance.
It
Yeah.
takes a balance, right? And do you worry sometimes when you see the academic progress of kids of your son's age?
No, I don't. I used to, of course. I used to earlier because I've seen kids who are 3 years old, 4 years old, writing in running hand, cursive, and writing pages and pages. And my son just does not enjoy writing, and he's more into reading stories and learning hands-on. So I have spent days when I've worried about it. But again, this year has brought me a little more peace and a little more acceptance of this whole process of homeschooling. So yeah.
Chandra, one of the things that I particularly find worrisome in our school system is that they put a lot of cognitive load on kids, which sometimes takes away a child's will to learn. Do you think this is where homeschooling has an upper hand because you can decide the pace of your teaching?
Yes, you can. Again, before I get into this answer, I would like to say it depends on what kind of homeschooling you're doing and what your homeschooling goals are as a family. There are homeschooling families also who kind of replicate the school system at home, and they're just as rigorous, and they want to meet the same milestones. Now, if somebody is homeschooling just the way that schooling is done in schools, then of course it's the same thing. But if you're homeschooling, you are ready to give space and time to learning, then of course I would say that you can, every child is different. Every child learns in a different way. Not necessary that every 7-year-old child will have the same way of writing or the same speed at writing, for example. So if you're ready to give time, then you can turn homeschooling into a more relaxed, fun, and whole body, whole child learning process.
Right. So we have a very valid point here that we should not replicate the school when you're homeschooling. Right. Chanda, you have been moving from one posting to another. So what has been your biggest challenge in homeschooling?
My biggest challenge is that in the military community I haven't ever come face to face with another homeschooling family. So pre-lockdown we were pretty much the only people, at least I didn't know anybody else, so I was the only one at this base or even some of the other bases that I've gone to who homeschooled. So now, post lockdown, though a lot of children are studying at home, that's not really homeschooling, that's more of online schooling. So a lot of questions come our way, especially my way. You know, people ask you so many questions. They judge you based on your homeschooling decision, and they also tell you things which, which makes you doubt yourself sometimes.
Hmm.
So that is one of the challenges in trying to explain why we are homeschooling or why we are, doing this. And in the military community, we are a very close knit group.
Right.
So it's not that you can even evade that question. You have to politely explain why you're doing this. So that is one challenge. The other is, because we're in a remote area, if I wanted to take my son to a big library or to a museum or to an aquarium, whatever, I cannot really just hop out and go there. So a lot of our experiences, our educational field trips are mostly virtual trips online. But having said that, because we move so much to such remote bases, and because our community consists of people from across India, there is also a lot of learning value here. You get exposed to different conditions, different cultures.
Right.
So there are both. There are pros and there are cons.
And I guess you rely more on online resources.
Yes, yes. Because, like I said, now if I want to take him to a library or I want to show him something, I can't just go out for a field trip unless, of course, it's based on something which is around here. And because in fact, we are in such remote places, you can't even find it on the map. So if I need to show him something, I have to dig out good websites or virtual trips or, like BBC sites, NASA websites to really show him what I'm talking about.
So, what has been the biggest benefit of homeschooling for you and your family?
I think when homeschooling in a way has made us even more closely knit, and there is a bonding which happens when you homeschool, which I feel was not there when my son used to go to school. I may be wrong here. Maybe a lot of people feel that bonding even if the kids go to school, but there is something different when you are spending time with each other. You learn a lot of things. Sometimes it's not easy when you're together 24/7, but you also learn to work around it and give each other space. And because we are homeschooling, we are able to explore so many things which I'm sure, had my son been going to school, we would not have had time for. For example, I teach him art classes every single day, and it's not the traditional art classes. We just create something, from whatever we have at home. And my son and Neil and my husband, they sit together and they create toys from trash, workable toys from trash. And these are like really elaborate projects, all through the week and the weekend. So I am sure we would not have had time for these things had he been going to school and he had his regular portfolio of homework and tests. Now that we are homeschooling, why we realize slowly that homeschooling is a good fit for us is also because we realize that this child, our child, he needs to run around, make things with his hands, explore everything firsthand. And I'm sure a lot of children are like that. Everybody probably explores differently. Somebody likes to read, somebody likes to watch, somebody likes to make things. But in when you're homeschooling, we have the time, the luxury of time to explore different interests and also teach subjects using other, co-curricular activities. For example, when I'm doing art classes with him, for example, we were learning an artist and he was painting these, polar bears and all. So we created these artworks of polar bears and snowmen. And that's when we also talked about seasons, so when we're learning something and we also do these projects at home on artists from history. So a child is learning history without really realizing that they are learning history. He's drawing, but we are also talking about the artist and his style. So when you're homeschooling, you can actually mix and match subjects and interests and make it into a package which is interesting for you and for your child.
Right. So you get to know your child better. You also get to know how your child learns. What are his natural interests? Also, what has been your biggest surprise, while homeschooling your son?
My biggest surprise has been that I have actually come to explore my own hidden, you can say, strengths. I would not have thought that I was the kind of person who could homeschool, because I had the similar doubts that almost any person who's even considering homeschooling has. And I thought I was a person who needed a lot of space, who didn't have patience. But and I couldn't manage to do so many things. But now with homeschooling, I'm realizing that it is possible, not just for me, for anybody who goes into it. It takes time to, start balancing and juggling everything, but it is possible. And another learning value that I've had from homeschooling that all of us realize is that living a slower life is so good, though it is totally opposite to our culture these days. But if you can actually slow down, you really realize what life is all about and what is really valuable in your life.
I'm sure Neil must have also surprised you.
Neil surprised me even when he was going to school, because I would see that he is very good with facts and working with his hands and learning hands on. So I would say homeschooling actually suits him very well because he gets to do all those things, which in fact when he was going to school used to be a challenge because we didn't have time to devote to hands on learning at that time.
Right. So, what you like least about homeschooling?
Least about, actually I totally love homeschooling. There are days of course when I feel I wish I would have a little more me time. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also tell us what would you go back and change if you could? Because it's been a journey for you. You must have learned many things.
What I would have changed is what I tell all other prospective homeschooling parents is that don't be so stressed about the process. I used to be pretty stressed, and even now I have to tell myself to calm down sometimes. But we get very stressed when we feel, like you said before, when our child is not meeting those academic milestones that kids of his age in schools are meeting. So I would just tell my older self not to go into that at all, and just go easy on my son and let him learn the way he wants to.
Okay. So, what are the biggest myths about homeschooling?
The biggest myth is people feel that kids will not be able to mix with other kids and other people if they are being homeschooled. They feel it's a very isolated lifestyle. And the other myth is people feel that probably children are not learning well. Because sometimes I also meet people who try to quiz my son, on how much he's learned or what he's learning. So these, I think, are the two biggest myths of homeschooling that others have.
Right. Absolutely. What have you learned that you would like to pass on to other parents?
One simple message is don't be stressed about homeschooling, and let your child lead the way where in your learning journey. If you go with interest led learning and you create a curriculum around that, I think all of you will be happy. Also, as parents, take your own interests into the picture. My son, he is very interested in science and he likes to make toys out of trash lying around the house. And through making these toys, he's learning about so many science concepts that probably had I made him sit in front of a textbook and asked him to mug up those concepts, he would not have learned. So through homeschooling, we get to offer the child the way that he learns best. So even if, for example, a child loves science, but if you give him a textbook to mug up from, he may start hating it. But if you're homeschooling, you have the luxury and the time to work on like giving him hands-on experience vis-a-vis textbookish experience. So I feel depending on how your child learns, you can tailor make your educational experience. Also, as parents, take your own interests into the picture, because let's say if you don't enjoy the activity that your child wants to dabble in, then your vibe will affect the child's mood and the project. Another thing that I would like to tell the homeschooling parent who stays home and homeschools is take time out for yourself. Be it in 10-minute slots, 15-minute slots, take time out to be alone and recharge, and also do something which energizes you, whether it's a passion project or work.
Right. Coming back to your home life, Chandra, tell us how does your day look like?
So my day, I try to get up early in the morning and I do a little bit of journaling and meditation. And then I try to get at least half an hour to 45 minutes of work on my computer. That's the best time to do some writing work. After that, post breakfast, after my son wakes up, we do our homeschool. And homeschool sometimes carries on till lunchtime. And when I say homeschool, it's just not lessons, but we also do an art workshop every day at our home. So either we homeschool till lunchtime, or if he finishes early, I get some time to work or read. And post lunch again, I get some time to work on my own things. And while my son plays on his own, or he does a project or some lesson with my husband after he's back. In the evening, it's mostly family time. We play together, we go for a walk, we have early dinner. And then again, at night, we're all of us are reading our books, listening to audio stories. So that's how my day is like.
So, how do you take time for yourself and to learn and to recharge?
Yes. Now, when you're homeschooling, you don't have really a big chunk of time. You don't have, let's say, from 8 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. It's nothing like that. So I tell every homeschooling parent that then you have to pull out time. You have to make do with the fringe hours of your day. So instead of waiting for a half an hour slot to open up or a 1 hour slot to open up for your work, for your own hobbies, try to make the best use of 5-10 minutes of gaps that you get through the day. And that's how I've been making time. Like I said, it's not easy every day, and there are days when I'm not able to make time, but then it's like a marathon. You learn how to do it over time.
Right, right. So, before we sign off, please give us a few tips regarding a healthy work-life balance.
A healthy work life balance, for me, again, a healthy life work life balance is different for different people. For me, I feel at this stage of life, when there are so many plates in the air, I feel for me, taking kind of chunking things up rather than putting it in a very tight schedule is really important. And I need to recharge my own batteries, because only then will I be able to give to my family. And also, I feel enough family interaction, enough one-on-one interaction with either your spouse or with your children, without being on the phone or without scrolling through the phone, is like, in fact, if you take the phone out of the equation many times during the day, you will feel that work life balance starts happening on its own. So
Right.
that is my mantra for work life balance.
Great, Chandana. Thank you, Chandana, for being with us. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you, Harsha, for having me here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.